Welcome to the Watchman on the Pod, sounding the alarm and investigating Jesus' second coming and the end time events. We are to be watching, ready, and warning.
Hi, this is Pamela, and you are listening to Watchman on the Pod. With me is Nikki.
Hi, everyone.
And tonight we are finishing the book Kabbalah Secrets Christians Need to Know, an in-depth study of the kosher pig by Deanne Loper. Loper. I'm sorry, why can't I get that right? We are reading the Appendix tonight.
Yes.
And it is about Mystery Babylon, the great city Jerusalem.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Revelation 17:5 and also 18:4. Revelation 11:8 reveals the identity of the great city. Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies, the two witnesses, shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified, Jerusalem. Jesus was crucified in the city of Jerusalem, the great city. Matthew chapter 20, verses 17 through 19. And Jesus, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way, and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles to mock, and to scourge, and to crucify him. And the third day he shall rise again. Why don't we just go back and forth? We'll do every other one. So you go ahead and do the next one.
All right. The scriptures refer to the mystery of Babylon as the great city. Revelation 17:18, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Revelation 14:8, and another angel followed, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornications. Revelation 18:16, and saying, Alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
The great city is unique among the cities of the nations. Revelation 18:18, and they cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? Revelation 18:10, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Revelation 16:19, and the great city was divided into 3 parts, and the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath.
Mystery Babylon is drunk with the blood of the prophets and martyrs of Jesus Christ. Luke 13:33, for it cannot be that a prophet should perish outside of Jerusalem. Revelation 17:6, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Jesus. And when I saw her, I wondered with great amazement. Revelation 18:24, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. Revelation 18:20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God hath avenged you on her. Revelation 16:6, for they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy.
Wow. Jesus identifies the harlot with the blood of the righteous prophets upon her hands.
Yep.
Starting in Matthew 23, verses 37 to 39. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. Jerusalem is now seen in the eyes of God as desolate as Sodom and Egypt. Those were in parentheses. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord.
Wow.
Matthew 23, verses 34 through 35. And this is Jesus speaking to the Pharisees. Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets, and wise men, and scribes. And some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come in all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias' son of Barachias, Barachus, whom ye slew between the temple and the altar. And then Luke 11:49 through 52. And again, Jesus is speaking to the Pharisees. Therefore also, said the wisdom of God, I will send them prophets and apostles, and some of them they shall slay and persecute, that the blood of all the prophets which was shed from the foundation of the world may be required of this generation, from the blood of Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, which perished between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, it shall be required of this generation.
Mystery Babylon is burned with fire in judgment. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Revelation 18:17 through 19. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And they cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? Ezekiel 16:41. And they shall burn thine houses with fire, and execute judgments upon thee in the sight of many women. And I will cause thee to cease from playing the harlot, and thou also shalt give no hire any more.
Old Testament scriptures identify the harlot. Isaiah 1:21. How is the faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers. And in parentheses, compared with Jesus' words to the Pharisees, you are of your father the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning, because there is no truth in him. John 8:44, end of the parenthesis. And then Ezekiel 16:35, Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Ezekiel 16:15, But you trusted in your own beauty, and played the harlot because of your fame, and poured out your harlotry on everyone passing by who would have it. And also see verses 16 and 28. Actually, that whole chapter in Ezekiel is just phenomenal. Anyways, Deuteronomy 31:16, And the Lord said to Moses, Behold, you will rest with your fathers, and this people will raise and play the harlot with the gods, Lord G, of the foreigners of the land, where they go to be among them, and they will forsake me and break my covenant, which I have made with them. And then Deuteronomy 31:29, and this is Moses speaking to the elders before his death. For I know that after my death you will become utterly corrupt, and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands.
The harlot is clothed with Babylonian scarlet and purple. Revelation 17:4 and Revelation 18:16. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Jeremiah 4:30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou closest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Ezekiel 23:14 through 19, it says to see.
The voice of the bridegroom heard no more in the great city. All right, Jeremiah 7:34. Then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate. Jeremiah 16:9. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I will cause to cease out of this place in your eyes and in your days the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride. Jeremiah 25:10. Moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones and the light of the candle. Revelation 18, verses 21 through 23. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violent shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers, and of trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. The sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
New Jerusalem is the great city of God. Isaiah 65:17. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. Isaiah 66:22. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. John 14:2 through 3. In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. 2 Peter 3:13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Hebrews 11:10 and 16. For he, Abraham, looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builder and maker is God. And now they desire a better country, that is, an heavenly. Wherefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city. Revelation 21:2 and 10. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And as he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and shewed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God. Revelation 21:23 through 24. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it.
This is a partial list of scriptures which identifies Jerusalem as Mystery Babylon, the great city and mother of harlots. There are over 80 scriptures in the Old Testament that refer to Jerusalem as a harlot, and many more that denounce her for her harlotries and whoredom with the gods, little g, of the surrounding nations. Just want to go back and forth? Okay. Ye took up the tabernacle of Moloch, and the star of your god, Rephin, images which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. Acts 7:43.
Mm-hmm.
But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Cheun, your images, the star of your god, little g, which ye made to yourselves. Amos 5:26.
The six-pointed star has a history dating back to ancient Babylon. In Kabbalah, it has long been regarded as an expression of the sacred name, the Tetragrammaton, the seal of the divine image of God connecting heaven and earth, and a sign of universal redemption. The following quote is from the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Quote, "The legend of King Solomon's seal of the wondrous signet ring, which he received from heaven, is common to Judaism, to Christianity, and to Islam. King Solomon's seal, whose base is on the ground and whose tip reaches heaven, symbolizes a harmony of opposites. It reflects the cosmic order, the skies, the movement of the stars in their spheres, and the perpetual flow between heaven and earth. The seal, therefore, represents superhuman wisdom and rule by divine grace. The abstract element of the figure and its geometrical completeness make it a universal symbol, the symbol of the hexagram. The star-like figure formed by two triangles has many connotations, especially when it is enclosed by a circle. The magic drawings of the hexagram and the pentagram were known as seals, in keeping with the idea that a person stamps himself with these signs in order to protect himself from harmful spirits. This term is connected to the legend of King Solomon, who controlled the demons by means of a special signet ring on which was engraved the Tetragrammaton. The seal only had power for one thing, to provide protection from the malevolent, how do you say that word? Malevolent forces.
Malevolent.
Huh?
Malevolent
forces. Now, I was going to say something because I find this to be interesting. Remember I believe it's in Matthew 24, or it could be Luke 21, I'm not positive, where Jesus said that they were going to take us up, remember, before the Sanhedrin?
Uh-huh.
And we're going to be killed for his name's sake?
Uh-huh.
People don't understand or realize how connected is Freemasonry.
Oh, I know it.
With Kabbalah. And what I mean by that is in almost every small town now, it's already been in large cities in the United States and stuff, but now in almost every small town, and it's in our town. We're not even considered a town. We're still considered a village. We have a blinking light,
A single solitary blinking light, folks.
And we have a Freemasonry Masonic Lodge.
But it's not just the Masons.
So, no, it's not just the Masons, but no.
Ones.
I read that these Freemason lodges are being placed strategically throughout the United States in small villages now also, because the Sanhedrin cannot be everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? But Freemasonry is in every nation, creed, people, tongue, whatever, throughout the entire globe. Now they're placing them strategically in every village, town, city, state there is, because when the time comes for you to accept the mark of the Tav, basically, but the mark of the beast, if you're going to go before the Sanhedrin, which is in the Freemasonry lodges, and I believe myself, it is going to be through technology. You understand what I'm saying? Where the Sanhedrin, via internet, not Facebook, but via whatever source they have.
The video calls.
They're going to take you into the Freemasonry lodges, and you're going to stand before the Sanhedrin, and they are going to announce, your what's sentence, death sentence, punishment, whatever. But yeah, they said that's why the Freemasonry is now everywhere. And like I said, we've got it in our small village. Right there it is.
I know.
And it's in Gregory too. It's in Leslie too. It's in Jackson. It's everywhere. And this, right now, I'm not even talking, a 25-mile radius. They're everywhere, Nikki. Everywhere. Everywhere.
I'm just so blown away by all of it. I'll be honest. It's all come into light. Everything, the whole plan, the everything.
Everything.
But you know what gets me even more, and I'll go back to the aha moment that we had when realizing that Saul,
Yep.
Saul was all up in all of that.
Yeah.
But Paul, I don't know. It's just, I'm so amazed.
Well, he quotes and tells him, I was a Pharisee of Pharisees. I mean, he was.
I'm just wow.
And they are the ones that came over from Babylon and brought the oral tradition, the Talmud. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he was not just educated in the Torah and the prophets and the Psalms. He was educated in the oral tradition, the Talmud, the Zohar, however you want to put it. He knew it.
Which, honestly, after reading this book, going back and reading his letters and stuff, and realizing
he knew what he was talking about, man.
Said,
yeah,
I'm just amazed.
And no wonder he wrote Galatians. Right? Really think about it.
Yeah.
No wonder he wrote Hebrews. Yeah. And I believe he wrote Hebrews.
I believe he did too, especially now after reading this and going back and thinking about how Hebrews was written. Mm-hmm. He had to have.
Yeah. There's just. It's just amazing. And like I said, now going back, which, I want to, and I urge everyone else to, but going back and reading these letters from Paul with this mindset, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Reading the Gospels and really reading the words of Jesus.
No wonder they were so offended.
Yeah.
Now it just brings on an entire and more in-depth.
Yeah, and speaking of which, back, oh my goodness, it was in the early 2000s, the Lord had given me a study, which I turned into a book, about the cross, right?
Right.
And in that, I was doing research and stuff, and I had come across the Blue Letter Bible. And in the Blue Letter Bible, it is written, Ha-Yudim Wilmelech Ha-Nazari Yeshua. I'm sure I just butchered that. But anyway, there's a method to it here. Jesus of Nazareth and King of the Jews.
Okay.
W-H. W-H. From right to left is how you read the Hebrew, the name of God.
Oh my God.
Yeshua, Y. Ha-Nazarite, H. W. Melech, King. H. Yahudim, King of the Jews.
No wonder.
When Jesus was crucified, Pilate wrote the formal epitaph that was nailed to the cross. This particular wording he chose to displease the Jewish leaders, and they asked him to change it, but Pilate refused.
Wow. Now that's got to be something really big in that in itself. No wonder they were so mad.
They were
so
mad.
In other words, they're looking up at this sign that's
and
above
they read
Jesus'
right
head,
to left,
and they read Yohevah.
Yeah, the Tetragrammaton from what? The Kabbalah oral tradition.
Oh my gosh! It was like
no wonder they were mad.
A slap in their face.
Yes.
Well, how about
so
that?
Anyway, I didn't know anything about the Kabbalah back then, nothing at all. But I wanted to share that because to me, I find that to be absolutely startlingly amazing. I really do.
I'm just so blown away, but you know what? All good things must come to an end. That being said, we appreciate those who have followed along with the reading of this book.
Yep.
I hope that it blessed somebody. Anybody, more buddies, whatever. I just, not enlighten. I don't actually ever want to use that word again,
I know.
to be honest.
I know.
I hope that it helped open up your eyes to some of the things that are going on, the deceptions that are coming at us from all kinds of different ways.
Right.
Just stay in the Word, stay grounded, and just, get the book. Get
the book, absolutely. Now, we are going to be reading another book. Have not absolutely decided on what book. There's a couple I'm thinking about, tossing and turning. But I'm not exactly sure. I'll be honest with you. There is one that I have started reading. I've not read it all the way through, so it will be a huge surprise to me, as well as to everyone else. That book is called, let me get it up here. Joanne has actually read this book too, and I believe it's very needful. I really do, because it's all going to tie in together, and it's called "Chemtrails Are Satanic Demonic Witchcraft," and it's the Illuminati formula used to create an undetectable total mind control slave. And I know you guys are probably thinking, what? This is very important.
I don't think they're saying what. I'm thinking they're saying get the foil. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, it is probably, though.
It is very important. I feel it's very important. Because now we see the religious aspect, I'm trying to say, through Kabbalism, Freemasonry, all this other stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So we see the religious aspect. Now we've got to see the mind control. Honestly, people, if you do not know anything about 5G and the chemtrails, you need to start looking these things up. It is real. It is not conspiracy theory. It is not tinfoil hat stuff. This is real. I have talked to one of the people that helped with the 5G. Remember, Mark Steele. And now he is a huge advocate against it. Mm-hmm. He says it is a weapon. People don't realize it, and it is. It is a weapon, and it is very deadly. It is giving people cancer. It is giving people, deadly diseases left and right.
Well, look
your
at
nervous system, everything.
Your reproductive system.
It is making our kids sterile.
Yep. Miscarriages. And,
it's dumbing down the younger generation. And how it's dumbing them down is, people, let me see if I can explain this right. You're in a school, right?
Yep.
5G is being pumped into that school. Now they have
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Now they have it to where every student has one of those books? Chromebooks, which run off of the wireless internet, which throws off microwave waves. Now, they're holding these Chromebooks, usually in their hand, touching their waist or below the belt or whatever. It is actually sterilizing these children. Then you got to think of a child in the growth patterns that they go through. Their skulls are not as hard as ours are. And that's not because we're hard-headed. No, it's because the bone strengthens up and the density is greater. Theirs is softer. Therefore, the 5G, the Wi-Fi, the micro radiation is dumbing them down. So not only are they dealing with core math, not learning to write in cursive, and all of this other foolishness that they're being taught, they're being dumbed down through technology, through the radioactive waves.
It's frying them is what it's
frying
doing.
them. It's frying
But
them.
we're definitely, that's going to be next on the list of things.
It's a long one, though, children. It's a long one.
Also, be on the lookout for, we've got some new podcasts that are about to come out with some really awesome studies on some of the characters in the Bible, some more connections that were being made, some older studies that we're going to take a look at. Now we have newer, our eyes have been open and we've seen newer stuff to go ahead and add with it, because it's like, it's just like when you're trying to, it's like the nesting dolls. You have that outer layer. Well, when that outer layer is busted up, you got that next layer. Well, guess what? Bam! That's busted up. So you have another layer, and you keep on getting in further, deeper and deeper and deeper, and it is amazing. So with all of that, we will bid you adieu until the next time, and we thank you again.
And God bless, and we love you all.